All right. What we got, Wade?
First thing on the docket is brought to you by you. A speeding ticket scam out of the South, Louisiana, Texas.
I think it was like something in the neighborhood, 4,000 tickets. It's Constable Row. And it was all like an elaborate scheme to raise money for the Justice of the Peace and the Constable's Department. I don't know how they're like, but they're like anything like Kentucky is. The Justice of the Peace position and the Constable positions are not really funded positions. Most of the time, the constable will make money off of serving court papers for the courts, and they charge usually around $60 for doing that. And the Justice of the Peace, they will make money off of marriages because the Justice of the Peace can notarize documents and they can marry people. And I don't know if you know this or not, but Kentucky used to be like West Virginia. They
used to be able to read.
No, well, they used to be able to. We have magistrates in West Virginia, and our magistrates are not attorneys. I mean, they can be an attorney, but sometimes, for the most part, most of them are not attorneys. And that used to be the way it was in Kentucky too. And they were called magistrates and justices of the peace. And then in Kentucky, they actually did divorces. And when you got a divorce, you went to the justice of the peace. And I think this changed around the 1970s. But anyways, those positions now, since like in Kentucky, since the Constitution changed and they changed what those duties and powers of those positions are, they're not funded by the state legislature no more or funded by your county government. So this guy came up with a way to fund it, but the only problem is, Wade, he wrote 4,000 tickets in 2 weeks.
Well, it's easy. I think we would have a really well-funded podcast if I could just ticket people.
Yeah. If it's something along the neighborhood, I think each ticket was worth like $150 or something like that. And it was what the average ticket was. And what it was supposed to do, those tickets were supposed to be split between the constable's office, the Justice of the Peace office, and the school board was supposed to get a cut of it. And I think out of this roughly $300,000, that school board only ended up getting around $60,000. But now it just seemed like it was a scheme. And I think the Attorney General has even stepped in. And we have a video about that, don't we, Wade?
Yes, we do. We'll pull it up. So the Attorney General, when we talk about that, that's the highest, like, investigatory type.
Yeah, most of the time in your state, your Attorney General is like the Attorney General of the United States. You're your Chief Justice Officer, highest law enforcement officer in the land. Okay,
here we go.
From the investigative unit tonight, an update to a series of stories about an illegal speed camera operation on the west side, which was dismantled by the Attorney General.
And since then, they've learned that the man in charge has resigned and had some choice words for Liz Murrell and another elected official. Bess Casserly reports.
Michael, Sylvia, it seems the constable did not like how the AG and a state senator painted his ticket program, which he says was created in an effort to try and fund his office.
This speed trap operation in Bruley last year caused quite a bit of drama on the west side.
Did you see them?
No. By the way, thank you for the rose, Randa.
Look at him out there. He's earning his dollar.
Is that you? Well, and actually, what was wild about this scheme is, I think that they're going to get into this though, but that radar gun that he's using is, I don't think that's actually, it's like on loan or something, because part of the money that they made goes back to the radar detector company too.
Oh, so the radar detector company's getting a piece of the scheme too?
It's like a big money grab.
Wow. At least he has the safety vest on.
This speed trap operation in Bruley last year caused quite a bit of drama on the west side and has since been shut down. If you recall, the constable of Ward 2, Ron Tetzel, and the Justice of the Peace, Thomas Southen, were enforcing speed limits in school zones on LA1 with a radar gun and sending the tickets through the mail.
The photo enforcement cameras allow us to slow traffic and enforce the traffic laws without having to put officers or other drivers at risk on the side.
It sparked outrage among drivers and other elected officials like Senator Caleb Kleinpeter and Attorney General Liz Murrell, who got involved and shut the program down.
You can't sign a contract whenever it breaks the law.
Well, we're finally hearing from the embattled constable, who we learned resigned from the position earlier this year.
The WBRZ investigative unit obtained a copy of Tetzel's fiery resignation letter in which he puts State Senator Caleb Kleinpeter and Attorney General Liz Murrill on blast, saying the thought of working for them makes him nauseated.
Adding that they are self-important, unaccountable, soundbite obsessed officials. He says he had no support as constable, made $380 a month, and had to use his own car and weapon on the job. And quote,
I'm glad you stopped that there, but you know what you're signing up for when you get this position. You know, I mean,
to serve your community, right?
It's what it's for. I mean, a constable, and if it's like the constables in Kentucky, you know, they're just like a local neighborhood watch in a way. That's got like a firearm. It's just another, you know, added security measure in your county. And I mean, this guy, I mean, when you run for office, I know exactly what the salary is going to be of the position I'm running for.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if he needed a gun to do the job of what did you say? They mainly do like small civil stuff.
Well, yeah, and well, when it first started out in Kentucky, I don't know if it's true in Louisiana because this is where this is at, but
which is it's not common law in Louisiana. It's civil law. They're a little weird down there.
They got that French influence in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm. Little flair.
Yeah. Or is it Spanish? It's French or Spanish?
French.
It's French. Okay.
Yep.
But anyways, in Kentucky, what the constable's office started out to be was that they were, you know, like a mini sheriff in your town or where a group of people were at. Because if you think like when Kentucky first became a state in 1792, it's probably hard to get from community to community for a county of the sheriff, and especially when like Kentucky started out. I mean, we had like 5 counties in the whole state.
Yeah. Now you guys have like over 100, right?
Yeah, we got 120 now. But I mean, that's what the constable was for. He was supposed to be like your mini sheriff in your community. And so, but like I said, I mean, this guy knew what he was getting into. He knew what that he'd have to use on his own car because most of the constables do.
Now, I would think this is normally a position an older member of the community who may be retired takes.
Yeah, and it's mostly what your constables are. There might be old deputy sheriffs. They used to be deputy sheriffs a long time ago, and now they're retired. And, you know, they're still out and about in the community, so it's a way that they give back.
Yeah. Well, he's about taken.
Effort to evolve this office and position from a half-baked Mayberry operation.
Whoa.
Justice of the Peace.
Mayberry had a very good operation.
It was a beautiful town.
There was not, I mean, the town drunk was locking himself up.
It was well organized.
So let's not knock Andy Griffith and Barney Fife.
Yeah, what's the crime rate of Mayberry?
Right, none.
He came up with a traffic enforcement program which would provide funding for the office and some money for the school district. Tetzel claims the AG's civil division approved it. In total, the constable sent out more than 4,000 tickets over a 2-week period, but only about 30 people actually paid them.
Okay, I don't know about you, but if I got like a ticket from an out-of-state camera, I don't think I'm ever...
Or in-state.
I don't think I'm looking... Well, West Virginia specifically bans camera ticketing.
You can't do that. I mean... I know that you know, traffic violations are kind of that quasi, it's not criminal and it's not entirely civil.
Well, they say that, but then they like make it go really criminal if you don't pay.
Right. And you know, if I'm out of state and you're sending me a mailer that has like from another state and you got me on picture on camera of speeding or running a stop sign or something like that, to me, it's not good service. So you didn't really personally serve me with notice of the court case. And so if the court doesn't have jurisdiction because they haven't served me with notice, why am I responsible for it? And further on, how did they know from a picture of my license plate that I was the person driving the vehicle?
It's true. Yeah, I'm tired of notice arguments, though.
All since been reimbursed. We previously reported the Justice of the Peace's office was on the hook for about $90,000 owed to the camera company from those unpaid tickets.
Ooh.
What was it? I didn't hear that part. What do you say?
Ooh, the local people are on the hook for $90,000 to the camera company.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're not getting their part of the bill.
Right.
And the AG already said people don't have to pay the bill.
And so this is probably a contract between the constable's office or was the AG's office?
I would say the constable's office. The AG just approved their plan.
Right. Well, if he's the one who's approving the plan, do you don't think he's got some sort of liability?
Nah, they're too high power.
They got immunity.
Yeah, they're
All
gonna be
right.
like,
Okay.
this is not what we meant.
Receive their $90,000, and they would have to file a lawsuit against them.
According to Tetzel and Southen, that debt was absolved.
Now, Tetzel's resignation opened the door for a special election to fill the position, which will take place in October.
Who wants
In
it?
his resignation letter, he wrote, "I wish my successor luck because he or she will need it."
He left a mess, evidently.
That's crazy to me that they thought that was a good idea.
Yeah.
Let's see. So they had an act that restricts manned, handheld, automated enforcement in school zones, limits hours of operation around, and requires endeavor between the school system before implementation.
I'm just going to tell you that, I mean, looking at our show notes that we have here, this whole thing, it seems like it's geared around raising money for a school district. But if you look at this, the school district only gets 10% of the cut.
Oh, Matt, how do they get casinos in every town in the country?
I don't know. Indian reservations?
A little percent of the tax going to go to the kids or
Oh,
the
yeah,
old.
yeah.
You got to attach your scheme to something.
Right.